Thanks for joining us this evening on TKO8 Local News. A 35-year-old man charged with rape of a female juvenile has been found not guilty in Boone County Circuit Court. In April of 2015, Boone County Sheriff Mike Moore said that Jonathan Lan Stubbs of Bergman was arrested based on allegations against him following an investigation by the Boone County authorities and the Arkansas Police Against Crimes Children's Division. Following 2 days of testimony this week, a jury of 5 women and 7 men found Stubbs not guilty. Tuesday afternoon was the final of that trial. One juror who spoke on the condition of autonomy said the jurors didn't think there was enough evidence to convict Stubbs. Officials say the jury was out deliberating a little less than 1 hour. Stubbs had been held in the Boone County Jail since April 10 of 2015. He was released from custody Tuesday shortly after he was acquitted. During a session of the Baxter County Circuit Court on Thursday, Terry Teeter Jr. of Mountain Home was sentenced to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to manslaughter and other charges. The most serious charge Teeter faced was manslaughter stemming from an accident on State Highway 5 North, which took the life of 22-year-old Christopher Jordan in mid-December of last year. Following his sentencing, Christopher Jordan's father, Don, held a large framed picture toward Teeter and said that what Teeter had done was wrong, but that it's not too late for you to change your ways. At that point, Teeter's face reddened and he began crying as he faced the Jordan family seated just behind the prosecutor's table. After his sentencing, Teeter was returned to the Baxter County Jail to await transportation to a unit of the Arkansas State Prison System. A 41-year-old Baxter man has been arrested on felony charges, including second-degree battery against a law enforcement officer. Dwayne Douglas Munden has been involved in several domestic incidents at a residence, including an arrest on a domestic battery charge on Sunday and violating a non-contact order. Sheriff John Montgomery says a dispute over property line issues and personal property matters, as well as allegations of threats and harassment, were at the root of each incident. On Wednesday, Sergeant Brian Davis responded to a call where Munden was allegedly violating the non-contact order and had cut off water from a shared well and pump. Davis confronted Munden and a physical struggle ensued. Additional officers were dispatched to the scene. Davis suffered physical injuries and had later treated and released from the Baxter County Medical Center. The sheriff says Davis will be on medical leave until he is able to return to duty. As of news time, Munden is being held on a $35,000 bond in the Baxter County Detention Center. Carroll County Board of Election Commissioners has announced that the general primary runoff election will be all electronic and held Tuesday, March 22nd. Carroll County Sheriff Republican candidates Jason Hunt and Jack Gentry will be the only race and parties involved. The polls will be open from 7:30 a.m. and close at 7:30 p.m., all at the Carroll County polling locations. Early voting will begin on Tuesday, March 15th at both the Eureka Springs and Berryville courthouses during regular business hours from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. The last day to early vote will be Monday, March 21st. Just like allergies, college basketball, and mud, another threat of spring is upon us. The start of daylight savings time this weekend, which begins officially at 2 a.m. on Sunday. At that moment or the night before, the few analog clocks still around need to spring forward at 1 hour during the 1:59 a.m. until 3 a.m. mark. Since most of our computers, phones, and DVRs do it automatically, it's not as much of a chore as it used to be. The U.S. first implemented daylight savings time during World War I as a way to conserve fuel. In 1966, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Uniform Time Act into law. Under the act, states and territories can opt out of daylight savings time. It isn't observed in the Hawaii, the American Samoa, Guam, and Puerto Rico, along with the Virgin Islands, nor in Arizona. Officials say that switching to daylight savings time reduces energy use, saves lives by preventing traffic accidents, and decreases crime. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at some headline news from around the region. But first, here's this week's Livestock Report with Sammy Klein, brought to you by Quality Feed Grains of Harrison and Belfont.
This is Sammy Klein, Federal State Livestock Market News Service. Reporting sale of North Arkansas Livestock Auction and Green Forest for Wednesday, March 9th. Cattle receipts, $13.84. Last week, $5.08. A year ago, $7.79. Compared to last week, feeder steers steady $5 lower, except the better 5 to 550 pound, $1 higher. Feeder heifers $2 to $4 higher, with the better 450 to 500 pound heifers $7 higher. Slaughter cows steady $2 higher. Slaughter bulls near steady on a live test. Feeder supply included several large groups of yearlings with no trend last week. Feeder steers, medium large ones, 3 to 400 pounds, 220 to 232. 4 to 500 pound, 204 to 225. 5 to 600 pound, 175 to 203. 6 to 700 pound, 162 to 173.50. That's a mix of ones and twos. 7 to 800 pounds at 150 to 159. From 9 to 950 pounds at 137 to 138.85. Feeder heifers, medium large ones, 3 to 400 pounds, 180 to 188. 4 to 500 pounds, 169 to 189. 5 to 600 pounds, 155 to 168. 6 to 700 pounds, 140 to 162, with some replacement heifers at 167. 7 to 800 pounds, 135 to 146. Back to 822 pounds at 134. Replacement cows, medium large ones and twos, 2 to 7 year old, 900 to 1,300 pound third stage, 1,325 to 1,675 per head. Second stage at 1,075 to 1,500 per head. And 7 to 10 year old cows, second and third stage at 850 to 1,275 per head. Cow calf pairs, medium large ones and twos, 2 to 7 year old, with 100 to 300 pound calves aside, a few at 1,500 to 2,050 per pair. Some 7 to 10 year old cows with 1 to 300 pound calves aside, 1,025 to 1,550 per pair. Slaughter cows, boner 71 to 78, high dress 80 to 88, lean 68 to 77, high dress 77 to 84.50, low dress 63 to 67. Slaughter bulls, year grade 1 and 2, 1,100 pounds, 92 to 93, high dress 1 at 104.50, low dress 82 to 85. That's the market today. Sammy Klein reporting. Thank you.
Stop and shop. Where your friends and neighbors shop. No one knows.
It's another week of great savings waiting for you at Edwards Grocery. Selected varieties, Progresso soups, 8 for $10. Assorted pork chops, only $1.99 per pound of the family pack. Dole Classic Iceberg Salad Mix, only 99 cents. Selected varieties, Maxwell House or Euban ground coffee, only $4.99. And get ready to get green with Cypress Mulch, 4 for $10.
Edwards Grocery Station money.
Puppies and dogs rescued from a suspected Madison County puppy mill were being moved throughout the country. The emergency placement partners of the Humane Society of the United States are partnering with animal shelters, rescue groups, and other humane organizations to help to relocate the dogs and give them a new leash on life. To Arkansas shelters, the Humane Shelter of Saline County and the Madison County Pet Shelter are accepting some of the dogs, as well as rescues and shelters in the states of Florida, Washington, D.C., Illinois, Kansas, Maryland, and other states. According to the shelter in Huntsville, they are expecting around 25 dogs to be transported to them. The dogs expected to arrive on Monday, March 14th. These rescue dogs were a part of a puppy mill that a bust was made in Madison County on March the 3rd. About 300 dogs were seized from the home of Joyce Johnson, who currently faces 2 counts of animal cruelty. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson wants to tap $10 million in state funds to upgrade and replace the state's aging emergency radio system around the state. Hutchinson has announced he's requesting that the legislature release the money from the state's rainy day fund for upgrades to the state's communications system for emergency and public safety services. Hutchinson proposed putting the money toward replacing equipment at 20 Arkansas wireless information sites and console equipment at 9 dispatch locations. The money will also go toward upgrades to the system's operating software. If approved by the legislature, Hutchinson says the upgrade will begin in April and take about a year to complete. The Arkansas Board of Education has voted to return local control to Pulaski County Special School District and Helena West Helena School District. Both districts had been under state control for about 5 years because of financial management and overspending. The board voted Thursday to lift the financial distress classification for both districts and return them to the local control following the election and training of local school board members. The Pulaski County District has had more than 16,000 students in central Arkansas, while the Helena West Helena District has about 1,400 students in eastern Arkansas. This summer, the newly formed Jacksonville North Pulaski School District will split from Pulaski County to form its own school district. Arkansas's annual school board elections are set for September 1. 40 years in the making, Interstate 555 in Arkansas has become a reality. Arkansas highway officials and others designated 44 miles of US 63 as Interstate 555 today. The route runs from I-55 near Turl to US 49 in Jonesboro. Upgrades have been going on since the early 1970s, but having the highway designated as I-555 was hung up because of a federal law prohibiting farm equipment from being on the highway system. Congress last year approved an exemption for a 5-mile stretch between Painway and Mark Tree, where wetlands adjacent to the highway are too sensitive to allow a frontage road. Farmers will be able to reach cotton gins and grain elevators on existing old highways. Before we take a look at this continued soggy weather forecast for the weekend, here's the way the stock market ended the week. Cloudy skies and on-again, off-again showers and thunder showers throughout the day and evening kept our temperatures down to 52 degrees, I should say, here at our studios this afternoon. And looks like this rain will just kind of continue to stop for a short period of time and then reconnect, if you will, as the flow continues to swirl over the state of Arkansas. Not as much, possibly not as heavy a rainfall expected, but we will have rain on Saturday and Sunday, at least in parts of the viewing area. Here's the way the temperatures and the forecast goes as we move into the weekend. On Saturday, as I mentioned, still some rain possible in the area. High temperature of 70 degrees, about 50% chance of scattered thunderstorms developing. On Sunday, 69 degrees, and again, thunderstorms in the area. 90% chance we'll see some rain sometime during the day on Sunday. On Monday, however, the system moves off to the east and a very warm day, above average for this time of the year, 79 degrees on Monday under sunny skies. On Tuesday, about 75 degrees. It'll be windy on Tuesday, up to 15 miles per hour. Then on Wednesday, 69 degrees under partly cloudy skies. So looks like if we get through the weekend and kind of get this system, which has been a slow mover, off to the east, we're going to have some almost summer-like weather next week. And boy, we'll be able to watch the pollen and we'll be able to watch the grass grow very rapidly. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at sports from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Here's another satisfied client from Dental Creations of Harrison.
My husband and I both needed to have dentures. I had looked online and we saw a picture of Wanda, just something about her. I thought this is the place we're going to do. And I called in and spoke with Dave, and he was just tremendous. Answered every single question the first call and told us what our copay would be. It was just an awesome experience.
Dental Creations on the square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
The Arkansas Activities Association State Basketball Championships are being held over a 3-day period in Hot Springs, and a local girls team is looking to take home the championship this year. It will be the rematch of last year's Class 3A game on Saturday as Valley Springs, the Lady Tigers, look to knock off Greenland, who knocked them off in the championship last year. In addition to this being the second consecutive trip to the finals for the Lady Tigers, it's also the 6th trip overall and their 5th in the last 8 years. What a program. Valley Springs won the 3A state title in 2010 when they picked up a 44-30 victory over Cave City. Valley Springs advanced to the championship contest after last week's semifinals of the Class 3A state tournament played down in Jessieville when they defeated the host Lady Lions 54-39. Valley Springs will be seeking revenge, of course, from last year's title game, which ended with the Lady Pirates of Greenland beating the Lady Tigers 72-53. Corey McGongle scored 17 points and 6 of 8 shooting as Arkansas Baptist won its first state title since 2009 with a 61-54 victory over Malvern in the Class 4A Boys State Championship game last night. Brothers Connor and Brandon Vander added a combined 24 points for the Eagles, who won their 4th title overall. Brandon Vander had a 7-foot center, had 14 points, while 7'2" sophomore Connor Vander scored 10 points. How would you like to have those two big trees inside for you? Kendra Perry scored 16 points, and Jonesboro held on to win its first state title with a 50-43 victory over Russellville in the Class 6A Girls State Championship played last night. Donita Webb added 12 points and was 5 of 5 from the field for the Hurricanes, which was making their first appearance in a championship game. Jonesboro led 33-25 at halftime, but the Lady Cyclones cut the lead to 43-41 late in the fourth quarter after a free throw by Shamika Ely. However, Star Taylor hit a free throw to extend the lead to 44-41 for Jonesboro, which never led by fewer than 3 points after the early start. Ela led Russellville with 15 points, with Abby Looper finishing with 14 in their loss. Casey Hill scored 18 points, including a clutch layup with 53 seconds remaining that helped 8th seed Florida outlast the number 9 seed Razorbacks 68-61 Thursday in the Southeastern Conference Tournament. The Gators led 55-46 with just under 7 minutes remaining before the Razorbacks rallied within a 60-59 score with 1 minute left, and Dusty Hanna's layup got close. However, then sliced through for the layup, and to provide a little bit of breathing room, Florida added 6 unanswered points to seal the victory. Florida shot just 39%, made 18 of 30 from the foul line, but the Gators came up with the timely free throws and baskets or rebounds they needed to advance to Friday's quarterfinals against top seed Texas A&M. St. Louis Cardinals shortstop Johnny Peralta has undergone surgery for a left thumb injury and likely will be sidelined for about 10 to 12 weeks. Manager Mike Matheny anticipates that Peralta will return to the team's spring training site in Jupiter, Florida in a few days, however. The surgery took place in St. Louis after Peralta got a second opinion. Matheny said he hasn't heard an exact date for Peralta's return to action and will have a better idea when the Cardinals consult with their surgeon. Off-season acquisition Jed Garaka is likely to get his first chance to fill in at the shortstop position. The Cardinals also have utility man Greg Garcia and prospect Aminia Diaz at a training camp. Well, that wraps up our broadcast here for this evening. Thanks for joining us. Join us Monday through Friday at 6:30 and again at 10 p.m. as we continue to bring you local news, weather, sports, and local announcements from around the area on Harrison's broadcast station, TKO Channel 8. Now stay tuned for more local events around our viewing area. We hope you have a safe weekend. We'll see you again on Monday at this same time.
Local television worth watching. KTKO Channel 8, Harrison.